Making lightsaber hilts has been one of the most requested props from the videos that you guys have seen in the channel. And finally, today we're gonna take a look at how I'm doing it. Ready? Let's go. Okay guys, so here we are. I have everything ready to go so we can take a look at how to make these things. Now, first off, I want to show you guys a fan favorite lightsaber that I made back in the day, and I want to show you how it was made and explain to you guys the thinking behind my technique basically. So here it is guys, this is the lightsaber that I've been using for the last couple of years actually. This is my personal lightsaber for my character, and you've seen it across most of the Star Wars VFX Academy series tutorials. It's pretty awesome. As you guys can tell, I wanted more of a darker look to this one, and it's a bit old, like I said. It has taken a beating, but it has held up really cool. So what is the secret towards making a lightsaber that looks like this? Curtain rods. Yep, you heard me right guys. Curtain rods are the secret of how I make my lightsabers. Now, as you can see, this is like an old one, and I've gathered all the new pieces to make a new lightsaber, and I'm actually gonna use this one this time. This is a lighter kind of curtain rod. As you guys can see, it has a cool silver effect, and keep in mind when you're shopping around for these things to take the one that is thick enough so that you have a good hold like this one. So the main piece of a lightsaber is the curtain rod. As you guys can see right here, it goes from here to here, and these pieces right here, I think, I'm not sure how they're called, but basically it's the ends, and they come in various designs. But if you go for the modern ones, you will find ones that look like this, and there are many different ones that you can use, but they're super cool because they are modern and everything is made out of metal, so they're gonna look great no matter what. So you have the main curtain rod piece going through the middle, and then you have different designs of the ends to make the bottom of the lightsaber and the ignition side, which is super awesome. Now, I want to show you guys some new parts that I have ready, but before that, I also want to talk to you about a different tape. Now, if you go to a store and you're not sure about the designs that you found, you can also use flashlights, like the super small metal aluminum made flashlights like this one. And these are awesome because they look sci-fi and they look like a lightsaber. The cool thing about these is that they have usually good texture, and they have different, thickness levels, and they really help sell the effect that this is like a machine and it's like a super cool weapon that is made out of metal. Now, today I went to the store and I found a couple of pieces that I liked, like this one, which I think looks really cool and sci-fi, and a couple of other things. So I'm gonna make a new lightsaber for you guys today, so we can take a look at how it's done. Now that the rod thing is, we are done with that of how it is made, I want to talk to you guys about the actual lightsaber blade. Now, the thing is, the lightsaber blade, you need to have a very strong rod of something, and it needs to be strong because you're gonna be hitting it very hard if you're making like a lightsaber fight scene. But more than that, when you're swinging around and it hits the other lightsaber, if it's not strong, they're gonna bend, and even if your eyes cannot see it, it's actually gonna be super visible in camera, and it's probably gonna ruin your shot because the bend is gonna be so extreme that it's just gonna look silly. Now, my solution to that was to use these wooden rods right here. as you guys can see, and these are super strong. Like there is like, I'm actually putting full force right now. There's like no flex to them. You can bang them to each other like crazy and they hold up super awesome. Now with a bit, we cannot just use it like that, but we need to mold them. But the important thing is that this can go in and out the lightsaber hilt, so that way you can have the lightsaber by itself when it's not used, and then when it's time to fight and you're doing your ignition effects, you can put in the blade and start fighting, which is super awesome. So I'm actually gonna show you guys the finished lightsaber blade and how it looks like. Now this is it. Now what I did is I took electrical tape like this one, and this is very simple, it's just electrical tape, and I would advise you guys to use white. Why white? Because white's gonna be super easy to be picked up by your camera no matter the condition, and it's also gonna allow just an extra step of like guard when it comes to the blade, because it's gonna be hit very hard, but because you have the electrical tape wrapped all around the wooden blade, it's gonna help it and it's not gonna chip out basically. Now as you guys can see here guys, the main blade is white, and when it comes to the hilt I have a black electrical tape, and because of the nature of the electrical tape, because it's elastic, as you guys can see, what I did is in two parts at the end and where the lightsaber ends basically, like if the lightsaber goes like this, it will look like this right there. I basically put more electrical tape to match the thickness of the lightsaber hilt itself. And what that is super cool is that when I take the lightsaber guys and I put in the blade, it has enough friction when both pieces are in that it stays in and it's ready to go. And when the time comes and the shot does not have the blade in it, I'm just gonna twist and pull and it's done. That way you have removable blades. If the blade for some reason breaks, even though like I said guys, these are super strong, you can just have another one, put it in and be ready to go. So the cool thing is with the electrical tape trick, you basically match the thickness of your lightsaber, and because of friction and because it's like a rubberized tape thing, it's gonna look awesome, and the functionality of it is gonna be great. So that's it when it comes to the materials guys and the technique. So let's create a new lightsaber from scratch. So here's what I have for the new lightsaber. This is the design that I found that I thought looked really cool, because anything that you can find that has this angle cut is gonna look really cool when it comes to the lightsaber. As you can see, my old one has a less aggressive one, but the new one has an even more aggressive one, so it's gonna look super cool. I also bought the curtain rod that I was talking about, find one with a good thickness that's aluminum, and I already cut a piece that is gonna work with what I want. So I'm actually gonna clear some space right here and I'm gonna show you guys what I'm working on. So we have the tip, we have the core, and I found this piece right here, which is another different design. Now like I said guys, you need to go in stores and look for this, go into the motor section of curtain rails and rods and things like that, and try to find something that you can piece together so that it will look super cool. So this is the main thing, the main idea of my current lightsaber, and I have cut the curtain rod already in the correct size, and those two pieces, like I said, I just bought them like this. And for example, for this one I had to open a hole for the wooden rod to be able to go through, but that's basically it. Now with those things I also have these cool buttons that you can see here guys, and let me let you guys take a closer look to these ones because it's really cool. So what these are guys, these are just some buttons, and more specifically it's actually screws and like different bolts that I got from like motherboards or PC parts that use some very specific type of screws to hold things in place. But they look super cool because I don't know, they're not usual things that you see in things. And these ones are actually shutter release buttons that you can find on Amazon or other places, and basically you usually use those to put them on your shutter release button on like Fujifilm cameras or Leica, and they're super cool. But here we can put them on the lightsaber as ignition buttons and things like that. So I have a couple here when I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna use the black one, the silver one, and maybe the red one, and position them in different places. I'm thinking of putting like one or two here on the black part, because I think it's gonna look super cool, and like the black one on the silver part. And the way I do these things is basically I'm just gonna take some super glue and I'm gonna put just enough, and they're gonna be held in place, and it's gonna be awesome. That I did the exact same thing for my old lightsaber, and through years of hitting it around, you can see they're still intact and looking awesome. Okay guys, that's pretty much it when it comes to the technique, the materials. I'm pretty sure I told you guys everything, so I'm actually gonna jump to the future so we can see all that in action.
Skywalker is dead. The boy, Kylo Ren, leads the First Order. The time has come to reclaim what is rightfully ours. You know what to do. Don't worry, Father. I will not fail our ancestors. After I am done, no Jedi or Sith will rise again.
Okay guys, so that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial and you learned something. Make sure to check the rest of the videos on the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Until then, don't forget to visit the Creator Store for awesome assets and that elusive black box, and unleash that creativity.